How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at the Daolaunch Launchpad. So the Daolaunch Launchpad, it's a bit of a mouthful, it's difficult to pronounce, but we're gonna just go with it. We're gonna do a complete review of this project. So everything you need to know, from whether it's worth it, how to get started, the white paper, the token, everything you need to know, okay? So we're gonna start with the tiered system, then we're gonna move our way over to the projects, white paper, etc. So if that is what you are looking for, then please sit tight, relax, and we're gonna jump straight into it. All of the value you need coming right up. Alright everybody, thank you so much for joining me again today. Before we move forward, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. We're moving towards the 700 subscribers, so if you guys could just like and subscribe, really appreciate it. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, so all of this, educational purposes only. Alright, let's get into this. So the Daolaunch is a decentralized crowdfunding platform where you will be able to invest in early crypto projects. They're doing this across chain, and it is actually a Japanese team, right? It's created from Japan, but it is also just international. You can participate in this English as well. So yeah, let's actually just dive into the website first to see how they sell themselves and see what we come across. So here they have their funded projects to keep an eye on. It actually looks really pretty with the UX UI design, but it doesn't matter how pretty it looks, it matters how well these projects have performed. So we have a number of projects. All of these are projects that they have completed. Now what they put here is success, which means, or at least it insinuates, that the launch was a success. Well, what they actually mean is that they have successfully launched, that the project has happened, it's finished. So it's a bit misleading. These projects are not all successes. Now, I think it's a great idea to dive into the projects soon, like to see how well the projects on this launchpad perform. But before we do, the first thing we have to look at first is the tiered system. So we're going to get into that at first. So a tiered system is going to determine how much, let's put it like that, how much of a allocation you're going to be getting. Now, depending on how much tokens you buy and tokens you stake, you will get that tier. So the first tier is from $100, and all of the tiers are going to be guaranteed allocated. So the very first tier is going to cost you, with the current prices, $20, because the Daolaunch token is going for 20 cents. So with 20 cents, it will cost you $20 for the first tier, which is going to be guaranteed allocated and will give you a pool weight of 1. You can then also decide to invest in bronze, which will be double, so $40, or silver, which is going to be $500, so that is going to be $60. Then over here, we have $1,000 for gold. If I'm doing that from the top of my head, that will be $200. This will be $400 for ruby. Then, well, I mean, I'm not going to continue with my math. I will probably make a mistake somewhere along the lines. But as you can see, the tiers goes higher and higher, where you will have to pay and stake more, but you will also get a larger pool weight, ranging from pool weight of 1 all the way to 232. So you can get a very large allocation or a very small allocation, depending on how much money you are willing to invest into this launchpad. So there's not much more to it. That is the tiered system as of now. So we're just going to move forward to the projects that they have currently going on. Now, in particular, I want to look at the projects they have already done, right, before we move into the projects coming up. So I am not that bullish. Well, let's put it like this. It's not me who's not bullish. It's the actual results that aren't very bullish. Let's take a look at a couple of their former projects. One of them is Pyramid Walk. We're seeing a 0.3x. That is a minus 70%. Now, to be fair, their average, like their all-time high, I mean, did reach up to 100%. 100% is, of course, very huge. I'm not finding the Daolaunch platform over here. I'm only seeing BSC station, so we're not able to verify what round exactly the Daolaunch has done for Pyramid Walk. If we click on this, maybe we can find a bit more info on that, but it's not clickable. So this one, you know, it's hard to verify because Daolaunch is not in there. Moving over to the next one though, let's see if we can find Daolaunch. And again, Daolaunch doesn't seem to be in here, even though they say they have done the bike earn project. let's see here. Here we finally do see Daolaunch as a platform. So this one is the first we can actually verify. Kind of strange, but okay. So here again, same thing. The all-time high was a 9.4x, which is a great return, but the average ROI is at minus 88%, which is a 0.12x. So again, then we really have to look at what the vesting schedule looks like in order to determine how much money the investors made. Now, 25% at listing, remaining distributed every month for 3 months. So 25% was unlocked right off the bat, making this 9.43x. So great returns on 25% of the tokens, and then the rest of the 3 months basically getting a 0.12x. So we can certainly say that was overall a bad project, right? Even though you got this huge return right away, 25%, right? You got this big all-time high, lots of tokens, but after that, it just dropped down, and all the rest of your tokens you would have sold with huge losses. So despite the all-time high being such a success, after that the token plummeted, and the users would have vested their tokens for nothing. Also, this is a very old project, all the way from 2021, and it is still featured on the homepage. Then we have another project here called Tales of Chain. This one should have also been launched on Daolaunch, but again, we cannot see them as one of the platforms that did this. So it's very weird, but they put it on the website. I'll actually look, here we go, Tales of Chain, successful, right? So they say that we've done this project, but then over on CryptoRank, we do not see their platform as they actually did. So that's weird. Looking at this project though, we can see that this was a total ripoff. The all-time high was a 0.58x, meaning that the highest this token ever came was already half of your money gone, and the rest was 97% of your money gone. So if you invested, let's say $500 in there, you would have gotten back maybe $15. So devastating defeat here. They don't show up here on CryptoRank, but they put it here on their website that they did this project. So yeah, that's it's interesting. They say here, still ended, successful. They put it on their website. So they did participate in this very bad project, and they're not listed on CryptoRank. Then here another project called Angel's Creed. Again, they don't list themselves here, but they did list it on their website. Also here, just a overall, bad project. 25% at TGE, but then, 25% vesting at minus 96%. No, thank you. And then the last one, MetaXE. Again, we don't see Daolaunch. Oh, we do see Daolaunch over here. So we could click on the details, and we can see 25% was unlocked at TGE, which gave a 286% return, which is of course quite solid. But then all of the other 25% vesting every single month was again done at a minus 98%. So we're seeing a trend here at Daolaunch that every single project, or at least the vast majority of the projects, have an overall pretty decent TGE release where the users will be able to claim their tokens at a pretty substantial return on investment. But after that, the tokens drop tremendously, and the users are left with 80% or more of their tokens to sell at a very large loss or hold on to their tokens. So they're presented with a very bad situation, and the projects overall, their quality just seems to be low. Wherever we look, we cannot find clear winners, and that is very worrying, right? Where are these big, good projects with awesome returns? We're not seeing them. Instead, we're seeing projects that are losing money instead. So the projects aren't looking that good. How about we now look at the upcoming projects to see if maybe there's some very bullish stuff coming up, or if it's just more of the same. So let's get into that. Before we do though, please make sure, don't forget to like and okay. So as for the upcoming projects, we see here Join Next and Success. So upcoming fundraisers, they have a couple of articles. This is, let's see, Caduceus, difficult name to pronounce. And here we see the first cross-chain stablecoin, AMM, on Polkadot. Serious Finance, and then here we have Spume. So the thumbnails are very ugly, I'm sorry to say. I don't mean to offend anybody, but you can click on the article and it should open. Yeah, there you go, this is the article. So these are the 3 projects that are coming up. They have a bit of information about the project, lots of text actually. The first fully decentralized community-owned NFT marketplace. All right, so this is Spume. I've heard my fair share of things about Spume. It doesn't look like they have linked any social media or the website over here. They just have an awful lot of text, but that's it. But at least they do have 3 things in the pipeline coming up, which is of course good. There's plenty of launchpads that have nothing coming up, so that is a positive. However, am I incredibly bullish on what I'm seeing here? Well, not really, right? I'm not seeing any IGOs or IDOs that I recognize, right? We're not seeing Chirply, or we're not seeing Haunted Space. We're not seeing any of the big launches that I'm, personally really hyped for and looking forward to. I do know Serious Finance. I've already looked at the project before. I don't think it's a bad project per se, but I'm not hyped for it, right? I don't think it's going to give you those big returns that you're looking for. And as far as Spume and whatever Katekios is, I've never heard of them before. The thumbnails don't look that appealing, so I cannot say that I am particularly hyped for it, but at least I do have to give DAOLaunch some credit. They have plans for the future, they have projects coming up, and at least that is something. So definitely not too bad, but again, looking at their past projects, we're just seeing defeat and bad projects launching without any profits, right? Profits are very far to be found over on DAOLaunch, and then what I was really hoping for was to see these upcoming projects that just bullish, right? And I'm not really feeling that bullishness in the upcoming projects either. I'm not seeing any of the projects I'm bullish on. So unfortunate, very unfortunate in fact. And we're just gonna have to deal with this. I wouldn't recommend getting into any of these 3 personally, especially if we correlate it back to how the other projects have done on DAOLaunch thus far, plus just the overall not very bullish feeling that I have with these 3 upcoming projects, and the fact we're in a bear market. I can already guarantee that most of these projects are not going to give very good returns. All right, moving forward though, however, we're going to look at the rest of the website, and for now that means looking at how to get started with the DAOLaunch. After that, we're going to move into the token, price prediction, and the white paper, so stay tuned. Here they have invest in just a few steps. Connect to the app, research projects, invest, and support the project. I am not seeing KYC, so I am assuming that KYC will not be required to participate in the Daolaunch Launchpad. And they also conveniently forgot to mention anything regarding staking, right? They just connected the app, research some projects, and boom, invest. There should be staking in here as well. So I feel like this is not really a good step-for-step guide, especially if there's KYC. Like if there is KYC on this project and they just forgot to mention it, that would be really bad. But I assume that there's no KYC, so then it just means they forgot the whole staking part, which is still quite bad. Where is the best choice to raise funds? So here they did a little bit of their market research, DAOLaunch, then they have here Launchpad and equity crowdfunding. So they, smart contract secured token and NFT, decentralized VC across borders, highly functional finance, creation features, decentralized grant system, and auction and lending VC entity on the NFT marketplace. Okay, so these are just their USPs in short. Here is where you can buy the token. You can do it on Gate.io and PancakeSwap. I am not a big fan of Gate.io, so I usually recommend PancakeSwap, but I also always look at CoinMarketCap, go to the market and see where the highest volume is. So the highest volume is on Gate.io, and I usually follow the path where the most people trade their tokens with. So me personally would go for Gate.io, but me personally also prefer PancakeSwap. So yeah, the choice is yours. Both exchanges have DAO, so you can go over to any of them. Then here we have the team. Now the team is a little bit of a mixture between doxed members and non-doxed team members. So the non-doxed have a DAOLaunch NFT character, and the doxed team members have a professional picture with their surname. One of the co-founders is non-doxed, does not have a LinkedIn, does not have a profile picture. Sakuro Imoshami does have a LinkedIn and just everything doxed. So it's very important to have a fully doxed team. I'm happy that Sakuro is doxed. I see here Reza Dato, head of community, is also doxed. But again, would have really loved the CTO to also be doxed at least, and marketing executive maybe also, head of investments and investment lead, not that important to be doxed, right? But anyways, before we move into the actual people, let's read a bit about their vision. Connect startups and investors on blockchain, remove third parties to bring new innovative into startup investments. DAOLaunch is decentralized fundraising platform. We aim that anyone to seamlessly... Wait, am I reading this correct? Decent fundraising. We aims that anyone... that's some bad English here. So I know that this is originally supposed to be a Japanese website. So I understand that the translation might not be on top, but this is really difficult to read. New economy across borders. Anyone branding themselves as decentralized, random capital here, ventures capital, obtain preferable investment conditions depending on their investment performance. Right. So grammar is not that important, but it's just about professionalism, right? So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there. Anyways, moving over to the LinkedIn page, it's not loading for some reason. Could be me, Rick with the horrible Wi-Fi, but it could also be the LinkedIn. Maybe there's something wrong with it. Maybe it's not actually linked. We can take a look at the Twitter. The Twitter's also not loading. Oh, then it's me. I'll come back to it in a bit. Typical stuff here. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the NFTs anyways. So they have their own NFTs over on their Twitter. You can actually see them all standing over here. So this is the whole team, and the NFTs are looking pretty cool. But again, what we are really interested in are the doxed members. So I'm going to do a quick cut, and I'll be back with you guys when the LinkedIn has loaded. So I just checked, but there appears to be a regional blackout of LinkedIn in my area. What are the odds of this? So LinkedIn is actually unavailable for the time being, but Sakuro Imajama is the CEO of the company. So that is the leader. And I did got to look at his profile before the recording, and I can tell you he has his fair share of experience. The LinkedIn is looking okay. Just disappointed that the rest of the team is not doxed. Would have really liked to see that also. But yeah, I don't really recognize the names. They're not really known throughout the crypto community, which is absolutely fine. It's all about the experience and how good they are. So that's fine. Me personally just don't recognize them. Here we do have the advisors, Wasim, doxed, and then NFT Tuber, which is undoxed, co-founding artist of the First Bit Foundation, right? So NFT Tuber, right, has a Discord and a Twitter linked, and that is just about it. Again, that's fine. I mean, advisors, in my opinion, don't have to be doxed. It is the team that really needs to be doxed. So advisors, who cares really? Here they have their blogs and their news. Again, not the greatest thumbnails here. I feel like just hire a thumbnail artist and make pretty thumbnails. I mean, it's different on YouTube, right? Like we got these not so pretty, but kind of screamy thumbnails, right? But it's fine because it's YouTube. But this is a website. It should be professional. It should be pretty. It should be appealing. It's not really appealing to me. Anyways, you guys probably don't give a shit about the thumbnail. So we're just going to move forward to what's actually important, which is the partners and investors. So we see BSC Station. That's another launchpad, tier 3 or tier 2, but I feel like it's tier 3. Small launchpad. Of course, we have Gate.io Labs and Gate.io, as that is their exchange. So I'm assuming we also, look, TrustPad. It's a slightly bigger launchpad, tier 2, I would argue. Crypto Differ, let's see what else, DeFi Warrior. So I'm not really seeing any big, I think their biggest partner here has to be TrustPad, because Gate.io is not actually a partner, it's just their exchange. So TrustPad would have to be their biggest partner, but they probably got launched on TrustPad. So it's not really a partner either. So that leaves only very small not well-known companies like DeFi Warrior or BAP Ventures. So low-tier partners, indicating that there's no larger entities interested in partnering up with this Launchpad, which is an indication that either the Launchpad is still very, very small, or the Launchpad is of too low quality, either tier 3 or so, and larger entities don't want to burn their hands on it. So that is good to take into account. I know that the Launchpad is not necessarily that new. They joined in August 2021, so yes, they're young, but in crypto that is already 3 years in average time. So if they really had that big potential, they would have already had those bigger partners. So it is clear that they are a smaller entity and a lower tier Launchpad, which is fine as long as they have those smaller prices as well. And they do, right? They have guaranteed allocation, lower prices. So then it's fine to be a lower tier, right? Lower tier just means lower quality projects, lower investment, lower races, but also a lower price of entry. So that's fine. Here they got featured in media, CoinPost, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, right? Yeah. Getting features on these things is not very difficult. They feature everyone, basically. But it's still nice to see that they got, the Cointelegraph and all that. Those are big crypto newspapers in the end. So that is it for their website. So let's now move over into their white paper. And before we do though, taking a quick look at their token as it stands right now. So as I said before, 20 cents, actually quite respectable, not even that low compared to other Launchpads, still quite expensive. Their TGE was very impressive. They reached up as high as $8, which is absolutely insane. All right. Look at this here, $8, more than $8. Volume was insane as well. After that, it just went down, right? This was bear market. It was the end of the bear market. Some would argue, the end of the bull market. Some would argue that the bull market already kind of ended at this, but if you look at these prices, I mean, this was definitely still a little bit of the bullish sentiment here, but that quickly went away as 2022 hit, right? Over here, the war in Ukraine started and the pandemic kind of resurged in China, and the world just went to shit, and the market collapsed. So we're still at 20 cents, which is still quite high. The token still has a decent amount of value. It is not really growing, nor is it diminishing. You can see here that it is very spiky, right? Not that much liquidity. The price is quite wobbly. Sentiment on CoinMarketCap, very bullish. Despite, of course, the projects not performing very well and the token being down a lot from its all-time high. Looking at the current holders, we can see that there's 2.3 thousand holders of the token, which is not that much. But I mean, for a tier 3 Launchpad, it's fine. That's usually how much they have. We're seeing all of these are contracts. So here we find the actual investors. The biggest investors on this platform have around $3,000 to $2,000 worth of tokens, which is quite a lot. And moving down here, they continue to be quite high. So there's actually a lot of larger scale investors. Look at this. This is all the way down to 68, 70, and it takes us all the way to 71 to go below 1K. So these are all still, several hundreds of dollars invested. So the top 100 of all of the 2.3K investors are actually quite big, which you usually don't see at tier 3 Launchpads. Oftentimes you see more of a pattern of between 5 to 10 big investors, then around 5 to 6 medium investors, and then the rest is just below $100. So there's actually still quite a lot of large holders for this token. But there's also a lot of small ones, which does keep the price a little bit balanced. And it did actually surprise me. It took me off guard. I didn't expect to see this many big holders, which is actually a good thing. I mean, they trust the project enough to invest this money, which is a good sign. As for the transfers, it's not a lot of happening with the transfers. Only a couple ones every hour or so. So yeah, there you have that. So that's the token. Moving over to the white paper, I'm happy that it is in PDF. That is my preferred platform for reading Launchpad, so that is good. Moving over here, we see here, let's moon the project from new standard DeFi fundraising platform. Then here's their vision, don't really care. Daolaunch ecosystem. Okay, we got some visuals here, that's good. So let's see, startups, huge returns plus rewards goes to the investors, and the investors invest into CeFi and get it as a return. And they bring it back to the startups through brand, and startups give it to the CeFi as expensive fees. Okay, seems like a clear loop. Interesting. Look, they first have this, and then they have the table of contents. Okay. Decentralized fundraising platform, token drop. Set up free token drop flexibility in Daolaunch. We will promote your project. It will be counted as a contribution. Okay, so they do have some interesting DAO-related functions here. IBO fund. Contribution fee will be pooled in IBO fund. Look, this is here some more bad English. Be used to buy back the project on a market by governance vote. Buyback amount is based on contribution. Once it has completed, token will be burned. Okay, so it's kind of getting annoying now how much grammar issues there are. You never hear me complain about that because myself, my grammar is horrible and I don't think it's important for investing. But it has come to a point where both on the website and the white paper, we're just seeing grammar issues after grammar issues to the point where the white paper is becoming difficult to read, and it's just very annoying. So just hire an English person for like $20 on Fiverr, I don't mind, anyone, and just make them do a grammar check and just fix that, as it's worth it. It's actually worth it for your professional image. And for the accessibility, because it's hard to read if there's constantly these grammar issues, and it ruins your professionalism. It really does. So get that fixed. That would be my personal advice. Trustless fundraising, DICO. Okay. Fundraising type, fixed ratio, token seal price will be fixed until finished the token seal. Unsold token will be sent back to project owners. Yep. There will be a Dutch auction. Okay. Accept the blockchain, token promote. Yep. Now here we have a little bit of market research. DAOLaunch versus Bounce Finance, Trust Swap, and Lit Protocol. So the fee charge from collected fund will be nothing. Auction fundraised, yes. Closed OTC, yes. Permit for fundraising, no need. Okay. Anti-scam will be yes. Audited by decentralized governance. Okay. Well, I just want to point out that governance voting, it doesn't. Okay, so yes, it helps because you have the voting of the community, and if the community has half a brain cell, they will be able to, vote on good projects and not scam projects. But at the end of the day, they're people, and they can also vote on scam projects. So it's not like a scam guarantee. It's not like you cannot have rug pulls because you have a governance vote. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good that they have a governance vote. There should always be a governance vote, especially in a decentralized platform. But they put it down like it's like some deterrent for any scam projects. There can still be scam projects when there's a governance. Token lock futures, yes. Cross-chain acceptance, yes. And strong marketing, IBO. All right. IBO initial buyback offering is totally new approach method, giving opportunities anyone fundraising with successful launch on decentralized platform. IBO is the system to buy back native token of the startup, which is selected by our governance. Buyback will be made on AMM market after listing. Once it has completed, token will be burned. Okay, again, it's very difficult to read here. But okay, IBO, gotcha. There will be IBO vote, anti-vote, buyback cap, yeah. Buyback method, okay, that's all. See token index NFT, how it works. Token sale, token drop, NFT auction, yep, okay. NFT auction platform, yep. Here we then have the tokenomics. Now this finally is a little bit important. So I'm glad that they put this in a graph. The team supply will be 20%, which is a lot. It's above average for the team. Token sale, 40%. They don't give any information on where the token sale goes to. So we don't know how much of this percentage is for private seed, public, and etc. So would have preferred to have this split up in the certain rounds, but 40% of the token sale. Marketing and partnerships. Guys, go on. Partnerships with an E. Okay, partnerships, etc. will be 20%. By the way, putting etc. in tokenomics, no. No, sorry. That you don't get to get away with putting etc. in the tokenomics. In the tokenomics, you have to be specific, preferably, right? I mean, you can get away with it, but you want to be specific. So, token sales, no. Private, public, seed, etc. Etc. No, just put down what are you gonna do with it, right? Liquidity 20%. Okay, so yeah, this is just not a really well thought out tokenomics in my opinion. Team supply, it will lock for 1 year and then unlock 25% quarterly. Okay, that's fine. Liquidity after 6 months full unlock. So they don't unlock all of their liquidity at launch. Interesting. And then it will unlock gradually for a year. 8.33% unlock per month. Okay. Deflationary token, staking. Here's their roadmap starting in Q4 2020. So yeah, they started everything there. 2021 Q1, platform features. Okay. 2021 Q2, token swap service, new IBO NFT incoming, token index NFT vault. Yes, okay, gotcha. Okay, and that is it for the roadmap. Oh, I actually just closed the thing. So I feel like the roadmap was very short and old. This was from end of 2020 to mid 2021. We are now at the end of 2022. So very outdated and again, difficult to read. And I don't think there's that much information in there anyways. Here's our conclusion, and that's it. So not the best white paper I've ever seen, that's for sure. Feel like it's also a bit outdated, but I could be wrong on that. At least the roadmap is outdated, that's for sure. Okay, now moving over to their Twitter and just the overall their social media and their community engagement. Very important to judge how the project is doing right now. So they have nearly 90,000 followers on Twitter, and they joined in August 2021. Mind you, their roadmap started in Q4 of 2020, and they didn't join onto Twitter a year after their roadmap started, which is weird. They are active, they post daily, and they don't get that much interaction, but it's okay. Again, we're not seeing pretty designs. It's usually kind of a must with launchpads, right? They usually have these pretty designs like this, like Gate.io does. But DAOLaunch just has these ugly, not very appealing post, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't change the investment, but it's just the overall picture. So not very professional in my opinion. They do have some interaction. This is 9 likes, 16 likes. They do AMAs. So the team has a decent amount of proactivity, right? They do tweet often, they do have AMAs and all that. Community, although not that much, does interact. It's all a bit so-so, but they do their best. They do seem to have good intent. Moving over to their Medium, we can see that there's 4.010 not found. So at least, I'm not saying they don't have a Medium, they probably do, but the link on their website doesn't work. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. So yeah, guys, this is just about it. We do also have the app. I believe I have it open somewhere. Yeah, it's over here. So here you can do your staking, connect your wallet, read the documents, and invest and all that. There's no launches here right now. There's no launches, so that's why I didn't really brought up. There's not a lot to do apart from staking. So you can just click on allocation staking. You can switch to the BSC network and just do your staking. It's quite straightforward. The dashboard is pretty, but there's no current launches, so there's not much to do other than staking. So yeah, you guys, that is just about all for the Daolaunch Launchpad. I really hope you guys enjoyed my personal final thoughts on the project. I feel like just their white paper and just is not, and their tokenomics, they're not really strong. The roadmap isn't very strong either. There's a lot of just bad designs, grammar issues, and the projects have been performing very poorly. The token is still at a healthy price, but it is way down from where it was at the TGE. The overall sentiment is still relatively positive. There's more bullishness than bearishness, which actually surprised me. So that is a good thing. The team does it is active, right? They are launching AMAs, they're tweeting and all that. So they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but the project itself just isn't looking very strong. Me personally, I wouldn't invest into the project mostly because the results aren't there, right, in the launches. Now, again, that is my personal opinion. I have tried to stick to the facts as much as possible, but if you still disagree with me, please feel free to let me know down below in the comments. And I like to give a disclaimer that every launchpad can change. If the market eases up a bit and the launchpad matures a little bit more, then it is certainly possible that the DAO launchpad does better in the future and has better launches. For now, however, their track record isn't that great. They don't have any active launches, and I don't like the white paper, so I'm not going to get involved, but it is always up to you guys. Perform your own due diligence as always. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me again today. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Take care.